1, 2, 3, action! Hey riders, and thanks for joining us for another video. Today we're doing another episode of HerBikers featuring Sharon. So Sharon, introduce us to yourself, and to tell you what, first things first, show us around your lovely bike.
Okay, so this is my 2020 Tiger 900 GT. It's the low version with a standard seat. I've had it from new since 2020, and I do some touring and absolutely love it.
That's all right, it's just still filming. Yeah, it's
so there's been quite a few mods on the bike since I got it, so we can go over those as we walk around. But PDM 60 under the seat, which looks after all my electronic extras.
Yeah.
I've got cameras for safety. Changed the pegs, the bar levers, the mirrors, the screen. That's okay. I have GV luggage, Scorpion can. Crash bars were on with the bike. I purchased those with them. Yeah, that's.
I bet that's quite handy.
These are really handy. It's great to put your gloves in or your waterproofs, so you can get them really quickly, and they also add additional crash protection.
Yep, a soft landing.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit easier to pick up if I drop it.
And you got that fruity Scorpion exhaust.
Yes, that was a must. It was a little bit whistly without, and I do love it. It came with another pipe bit, which I don't think you're supposed to actually put that in. I think they call it a baffle.
What's one of them? So, yeah.
It's not in.
Well, so that's the bike. So tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I had my first bike when I was 18 in the late 80s, and I shouldn't really say that. But that was just to commute, and it wasn't really. I wasn't a biker then at that point.
What was your first bike?
It was a Suzuki GP100.
Oh yeah.
So a nice little thing. So it's just to get to work and back. It was a really cheap runner, and it was great, but it wasn't quite so great in the winter. It was pretty harsh going. So I was encouraged quite soon to take my driving license and get my car test done. So I sold the bike and was driving for a few years. But then in '95 they decided to change the test, and they were going to add the extra restrictions. And I thought, no, I'll just get my license. So I bought a Honda 125 and just took it out the weekends and the evenings, and passed my test with that. And then, so that was in 1995, and I haven't looked back since, really. So 29 years of riding.
How many bikes have you owned over that time then?
I think about 9. So I've had
not that many really.
A few Suzukis, a couple of Hondas, some Triumphs, some I had a Yamaha as well, TZR 250, which was a lovely bike. And I was predominantly in sports bikes up until about 2012, 13, and at that point I really wanted to start travelling a little bit further afield. I wanted to do some touring, so that's what brought me onto the adventure style bikes, so that we could actually tour around Europe. So we've been over to Germany and France and Spain and Poland, and
you've done a lot
of
touring,
Italy. I've done a lot of riding. So predominantly it's a toy for touring, but it's what we love to do. Yeah,
it's in our blood, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
Tiger does it perfectly.
What do you get out of riding yourself?
I get to see the world. There are places that I've been on the bike that I wouldn't even dream of going otherwise. And the freedom you get from riding, and the friendliness of other riders as well. There's a real sense of community, and I absolutely love that.
See, people who don't ride, they wouldn't really know that, wouldn't they?
They don't understand it. It's like people that don't have pets. They don't understand the enjoyment you get out of it. And if you're not a biker, then this is completely does not make sense at all. But to people that have ridden, it always will do. So
So as a female rider, have you encountered any misogyny?
Well, so having ridden for so long, I've seen quite a lot of that, and to be honest, it's more sort of shock, and especially for somebody of my stature as well,
Yeah.
to be riding a bike. People are quite surprised about it. When we go into bike showrooms, you're always assumed to be the pillion,
Yes,
and not assumed to be the rider. But it's definitely going in the right direction. It's getting better. People now do see you sit on a bike and then think, "All right, yeah, she rides."
That is a common theme that that we're walking to bike showrooms and
straight away you're just assuming
the female is the pillion.
yeah, the appendage to the rider.
Do you think things are improving in that respect though, or is it?
It's. I think the more women take up riding, the better it's getting. Definitely, and promoting women as riders. There are a lot of very high-profile women riders out there now that are doing fantastic things for the sport and for the perception by males of female riders. Because they're doing some fantastic things on bikes that most guys can't do.
Oh yeah, I know. I agree. Like I said in the podcast I did recently, I said one of my inspirations was Jade Rides, because what she went out and did, I mean, you know what she did? She did, I can't remember how many countries, where did she end up? What was the country she ended up in? I can't remember. But what Jade Rides did is pretty amazing, I think.
It does.
I'd be worried about doing that myself.
But watching something like that and seeing a guy doing that, it's probably not going to create as many followers, because it's not really. People are expecting that guys are going to be adventurous. But girls put
it's
another
fair point.
spin on it.
Fair comment. How do you find the range of female motorcycle clothing these days, especially like vegan motorcycle clothing?
It's very hard from the vegan point of view. Things are not labelled. You just don't know. The bike shops have no idea what they're selling, so they don't know. They'll if they want to think you're asking if it's got leather in it because you want leather, then they'll just tell you it's got leather. So it's very, very difficult. Even the labelling is not there, so you have to do your own research before you buy, like the vegan wipe, the website is really helpful for that, because there's a lot of people that have done a lot of research. From a woman's perspective, as far as biker gear for riders is concerned, it's getting better, but it's quite difficult. For me, it's threefold, because not only am I vegan and a woman, but I'm also extremely short. So it's very, very difficult to find, boots to fit and clothes, pants that are short enough. But you just have to persevere, and hopefully, as more people get involved with it,
I guess from the manufacturer's point of view, is that there's so many different shapes, isn't there? It is. I can see it is difficult, and I can see both sides of the coin, but at the same time, there's still plenty of women out there of different statures who just won't spend their money.
Even if you're a pillion rider, you still need protection.
Exactly.
So we shouldn't be paring it down for women who ride on the back either. Really.
So what advice would you give to any other aspiring female bikers?
I'd say give it a go. A lot of bike schools now, riding schools, are offering day tasters where you can get on their bike and just have a ride around. So if you're interested at all, book yourself into one of those. Get on
I've seen the taster.
Give it a go.
They do taste experiences, don't they? Just
absolutely.
Have a little ride around the car park.
You don't need anything to get up there. They've usually got the gear that you can do it. So get out and give it a try.
So you don't even need to buy anything, don't you? Just go along. If it's not for you, it's not for you. But you might find that. It is, and then it gets expensive. So there you go. Just do it. And so on a different subject, a little bit. How long have you been vegan for, and what made you go vegan?
I've been vegan for 10 years. So I was a biker before I was a vegan, and that has brought its challenges as well, because I've kind of introduce that to my biking community who find it a bit strange. I was just researching recipes and I came across Gary Yourofsky's speech. I sat through that for an hour and decided I would not touch animal products ever again after that, and that was 10 years ago, just before Valentine's Day. So that was a bit of a challenge for my other half to actually comprehend, but that's the way it was. And it's the best decision I ever made. My only regret is that I didn't do it sooner.
That's something that everybody says.
I wish I'd have come. I wish I'd have seen the light.
It's how we're brought up, isn't it? Though.
That's right.
Between being a vegan biker and a female biker, exclusive of each other, which feels like more of a niche?
Oh, right. Okay. Well, I think riding a bike is definitely more niche because riding a bike at all is niche compared to dietary requirements. Nowadays, people have heard of veganism and they understand a little bit more than they did when I first started out.
Oh, yes.
But bikers, even now, it's a surprise when you come across another biker. So it's even more of a surprise when you come across another female biker.
True. So
but then putting the two together is pretty special.
Even more of a niche. So what's your future motorcycling plans? For example, what touring got planned?
Touring in June with the UK Vegan Bikers. Been over to Spain a couple of times, but I'm really looking forward to going over with some like-minded vegans rather than being the odd.
It's going to be 14 fellow vegans riding together.
But we would really love to get to Croatia sometime soon. So that's one on our bucket list. We were going to go over to Vienna before we went into lockdown in 2020. So that's still on the horizon. I think another Scotland trip. We love the Highlands. And we've got to go back over to Ireland soon and do the north side of the
I've never toured Ireland, and
amazing.
I want to. I've only ever been to Dublin once, many years ago, and that was a very boozy affair when I used to drink a lot. So I don't remember much about it, to be honest.
Last year we went to we drove down to Fishguard and we took the ferry over to Rosslare and then did the south section of the Wild Atlantic Way up as far as Galway and then back over. It was about a week that we did that in. We stayed in a couple of places for a few nights and sort of toured out. But the scenery is, it's on par with the Scottish Highlands. It's amazing. And the people over in Ireland are just so friendly. The one thing I do remember from that weekend I spent, I don't remember much, but I do remember everybody being very friendly. They can't do enough for you.
Same when I went to Scotland, I was just amazed at just how friendly people were up there. It is. It's beautiful. Not what I was expecting. But,
but over in Europe as well, when you're riding over there, the Europeans just love bikers. So, like over here, we're a bit of a nuisance as far as car drivers are concerned. They don't like the fact that we can filter and we just get on with it. So we are seen as a bit of a pest. But over in Europe, they absolutely move out of the way for you. They love it. So that's it's always a treat.
Lovely. So you got any final words for any aspiring female bikers?
Please give it a go, no matter what size you are, no matter how tall, how short, or how unbalanced you feel. Give it a go. It's amazing. It's a lovely thing to be doing.
Lovely. Thank you very much for that, Sharon.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys. See you on the next one.